Alright, so you're staring down the barrel of an MBA exam. I get it. It feels like you're trying to memorize the entire history of business, plus math, plus why your boss makes those weird clicking noises in meetings. It can be a lot. You've got terms flying at you like synergy and paradigm shift, and you're just hoping one of them sticks before the big day. But here's a little secret. A lot of this stuff, it's not just about passing a test. It's about understanding the game, the actual game of how businesses run, how they sometimes fall apart, and how, occasionally, they do something brilliant. It's like learning the cheat codes, but for your career. Now today, we're not going to solve all your MBA anxieties. I'm not a magician, though I've been told I have a magical ability to make complex things, well, still complex, but hopefully more entertaining. We're going to dive into some core concepts that pop up all the time. Organizational culture. That's the secret sauce, or sometimes secret poison of a company. We'll talk turnaround management, which is basically business CPR. Then there's line and staff roles, brainstorming. Yes, there's a right way to do it. And the managerial grid theory, which sounds like a sci-fi movie, but is actually about how your bosses. Think of this as your pre-exam pep talk, but with more jokes. My goal here, as private secretary, is to help you connect with these ideas, not just cram them. Because when you actually get what they mean, they become tools, not just trivia. We want you to walk into that exam room and later into any boardroom, feeling a bit more confident, a bit more clued in, and maybe, just maybe, ready to impress someone with your newfound wisdom. So grab a coffee, maybe a stress ball, and let's get into it. We're going to make sense of the madness, one MBA topic at a time. You might even find some of this, dare I say, interesting? Let's find out. So let's talk about organizational culture. Fancy term, right? But really, it's just the personality of a company. It's the unwritten rules, the inside jokes, the reason why some companies feel like a well-oiled machine, and others feel like a never-ending episode of a reality TV show. You know how every family has its own weird traditions and ways of doing things? Like, Uncle Barry always tells that same story at Thanksgiving? That's kind of like organizational culture, but for work. It's the shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that dictate how people act, how decisions get made, and ultimately, how well the company performs. It's the air everyone breathes, and if that air is toxic, well, good luck getting anyone to stick around or do their best work. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Now, this culture thing isn't just one size fits all. There are different types. You've got your clan cultures, which are all about collaboration and feeling like a family. Think tech startups with free snacks and beanbag chairs, ideally before they become giant soulless corporations. Then there are autocracy cultures, focused on innovation and risk-taking. These are your disruptors, the ones trying to build the next big thing, probably fueled by too much caffeine. Market cultures are results-oriented, competitive, and focused on getting the job done, sometimes at all costs. And hierarchy cultures? They love rules, stability, and clear chains of command. Think government agencies or very traditional banks. The key elements that make up these cultures include stated values, what the company says it believes, norms, how people actually behave, and artifacts, like office layout, dress code, or company rituals. But here's the kicker. Culture isn't static. It can't be. The world changes, markets shift, and what worked 10 years ago might be a recipe for disaster today. Companies need to be able to adapt their culture. Think about businesses that failed to change with the times. Blockbuster, anyone? Their culture was probably amazing for renting VHS tapes, but not so great for a streaming world. So a strong, positive culture is fantastic, but an adaptable culture is even better. It's about being resilient, open to new ideas, and willing to evolve. Without that, even the best products or services can falter because the internal environment just can't keep up with the external pressures. It's a living, breathing part of the business. Alright, next up, turnaround management. This sounds dramatic, and honestly, it often is. Imagine a company that's, sinking. Sales are down, debts are piling up, morale is in the toilet. Turnaround management is essentially the emergency response team rushing in to save it. It's the art and science of taking a struggling business from the brink of collapse and steering it back towards profitability and stability. It's not for the faint of heart. It's like being a doctor for a very sick patient, except the patient is a multi-million-dollar corporation, and instead of a scalpel, you're wielding spreadsheets and very tough decisions. The importance? Well, without it, good companies with temporary problems might just disappear, taking jobs and innovation with them. So how do these corporate miracle workers actually do it? There are a few key strategies they pull out of their hats. First up is often financial restructuring. This is where they get creative with the money, or lack thereof. It might involve renegotiating debts with lenders, finding new sources of funding, selling off non-essential assets, goodbye gold-plated company jet, or sometimes just getting really, really good at managing cash flow. It's about stopping the financial bleeding first. Then there's operational efficiency. This means looking at how the company actually does things and finding ways to do them better, faster, and cheaper without, completely destroying the quality or the workforce. It's about trimming the fat, not amputating limbs. But it's not all about numbers and processes. Leadership change is often a huge part of a successful turnaround. Sometimes, the people who steered the ship into the storm aren't the best ones to navigate it out. A new leader can bring fresh perspectives, make difficult choices without past baggage, and rally the troops. Think of it like a sports team, bringing in a new coach mid-season to shake things up. And finally, there's market repositioning. This could mean changing the company's brand, targeting new customer segments, or even developing new products or services to meet changing market demands. It's about telling a new story, convincing the world, and sometimes your own employees, that the company is back and better than ever. It's a tough gig, but when it works, it's pretty incredible. Okay, let's talk about how companies actually structure who does what, specifically line and staff roles. It sounds a bit military, and there's a reason for that. It's about clear roles and responsibilities. Imagine a company as a big machine designed to produce something, whether it's a car, a piece of software, or a service. Line managers are the people directly involved in the core work of that machine. They are on the front lines, responsible for achieving the company's main objectives. If the company makes cars, the line managers are overseeing the assembly line, the sales teams selling the cars, the people designing the next model. They have direct authority and accountability for results. Then you have staff managers. These folks aren't directly making the car or selling it, but they are crucial support players. Think of them as specialists who provide advice, support, and expertise to the line managers and the organization as a whole. Your HR department, staff, the legal team, staff, the IT guys who magically fix your computer when you've spilled coffee on it for the third time this week, definitely staff. They don't usually have direct authority over the line operations, but their influence is huge. They're the experts who help the line managers do their jobs better, ensuring things run smoothly, legally, and efficiently behind the scenes. It's a partnership, or at least it's supposed to be. Now, this structure has its upsides and its downsides like any family reunion. One of the big advantages is specialization. Staff managers can become deep experts in their fields, providing high-quality advice that line managers, who are busy with operations, might not have the time or knowledge to develop. This can lead to better decision-making. However, challenges can pop up. Sometimes there's conflict. Line managers might feel like staff managers are out of touch with the real work, or trying to tell them what to do without understanding the pressure. Staff managers, on the other hand, might feel their advice is ignored, or that they're undervalued. It requires good communication and mutual respect to make it work effectively. Otherwise, you get silos and frustration, which helps no one. Let's dive into something that sounds fun, but can often be, less fun if done badly: brainstorming. We've all been in these sessions, right? Someone says, "Let's brainstorm," and you either get a room full of crickets or one person dominating the conversation while everyone else mentally plans their lunch. But proper brainstorming, when done right, is actually a powerful tool for generating creative solutions and new ideas. It's not just about throwing random thoughts at a whiteboard. It's a structured process designed to unlock collective creativity. The core idea is to create a space where a group can explore a problem or opportunity without fear of judgment, aiming for quantity of ideas first, because somewhere in that quantity, quality might be hiding. So, what are the magic ingredients, the principles that make brainstorming actually work? First and foremost is deferring judgment. This is key. No idea is a bad idea during the initial generation phase. You want to encourage wild, even seemingly impractical thoughts, because sometimes the craziest idea sparks a more practical, brilliant one. It's about creating a safe space. Another principle is to go for quantity over quality initially. The more ideas you get out there, the higher the chance of stumbling upon something truly innovative. Encourage freewheeling. The wilder the idea, the better. And build on the ideas of others. This is the yes and principle from improv, where you take someone's suggestion and add to it, rather than shutting it down with a no. And where does all this wonderful, chaotic idea generation fit into the business world? Everywhere, really. Brainstorming is used for problem solving. It's crucial for new product development. It can be used for marketing campaigns, improving processes, even figuring out the theme for the annual office party. When facilitated well, with diverse perspectives in the room, brainstorming can break through conventional thinking and lead to genuine breakthroughs. It's about tapping into the collective brainpower of a team, which is almost always smarter than any single brain, no matter how big that brain's office is. All right, let's tackle a classic, the managerial grid theory, developed by two clever chaps named Blake and Mouton. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another grid? Another theory? But stick with me, because this one is actually quite insightful for understanding different leadership styles, maybe even your own or your boss's, which can be very useful information, trust me. Imagine a graph. On one axis, you have concern for people, from low to high. On the other axis, you have concern for production or results, also from low to high. Blake and Mouton said that by plotting where a manager falls on these two scales, you can identify their dominant leadership style. It's like a personality test, but for managers. The grid highlights 5 main leadership styles. First, down in the bottom left corner, 1 low on people, low on production. You have impoverished management. This is the manager who's basically checked out. Minimum effort to get work done, minimum effort to sustain morale. Think of a sloth, but with less enthusiasm. Then, top left, 9 low on production, high on people, is country club management. These managers are all about keeping people happy and creating a friendly atmosphere, but actual work output might suffer. It's like a permanent office party where no one wants to discuss the looming deadlines. Opposite that, bottom right, 1 high on production, low on people, is authority compliance management, or produce or perish. These managers are all about efficiency and results, often seeing people as tools to get the job done. Very effective, perhaps, but not a fun place to work. In the middle, 5, you have middle-of-the-road management. These managers try to balance both concerns, seeking adequate performance and reasonable morale. They compromise. It's fine. Not terrible, not amazing, just adequate. But the holy grail, according to Blake and Mouton, is in the top right corner, 9, team management. This style shows high concern for both people and production. These managers foster teamwork, trust, and respect, believing that committed employees who feel valued will lead to high performance. The grid isn't just about labeling. Its real role is to help managers understand their own tendencies and identify areas for improvement, ideally moving towards that team management style. It's a tool for self-awareness and development, aiming to make leadership more effective and work a little less like a necessary evil. And there you have it. We've journeyed through the fascinating and sometimes slightly bewildering world of organizational culture, turnaround strategies, line and staff, brainstorming, and figuring out if your boss is a secret country club manager. See? These MBA concepts, when you break them down, aren't just abstract theories designed to make your exam harder. They're actually about real people, real companies, and the real challenges and triumphs they face every single day. Understanding this stuff gives you a new lens to see the business world, and maybe even your own role within it. Hopefully, walking through these topics has demystified them a bit, and maybe, just maybe, made you feel a little more prepared, not just for your exams, but for the actual, of business. That's what we aim for here at Private Secretary, to take these big, sometimes intimidating ideas and make them accessible, relatable, and even a bit entertaining. Because learning shouldn't feel like a punishment. It should feel like you're gearing up, getting smarter, and becoming more capable. Think of this knowledge as your new toolkit, ready to be deployed when you need it most. So go forth and conquer those MBA exams. Or at least, go forth and feel slightly less confused by them. If this helped, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures in business demystification, and if you've got questions or your own produce or perish boss stories, drop them in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and remember, even the most complex things can be understood. You've got this. Cheers!